representative of the U.S., and I give the floor to the representative of the Russian Federation.
Mr. President, we welcome to today's meeting the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Mali, Tiavini Drame. We thank the Special Representative of the Secretary General, Mohamed Saleh Anadif, for his briefing. To begin, we would like to express our condolences to the people and the government of Mali in connection with the horrific tragedy in the village of Sibane, where on June 10th, as a result of an interethnic clash, approximately 100 innocent civilians died. We count that those responsible for these events will be found and duly prosecuted. This tragic event, like the equally tragic attack on the village of Agasagu in March, has once again demonstrated the scope and the gravity of the threats facing the country and the region, and their vulnerability in the face of destabilizing forces represented by terrorists, organized crime, and extremist ideology. Overall, the developments in Mali are a source of great concern to us. We note that in the first few months, the number of terrorist attacks has increased, aimed at both military and civilians. Human rights violations are rampant. In the center of Mali, we see an ongoing simmering and sometimes eruption of interethnic and intercommunity conflicts. We believe that the reason for this is not only a centuries-long confrontation between the nomadic and sedentary populations. Insurgents are intentionally attempting to curry favor with the local population and skillfully playing on existing disagreements to take advantage of them. In order to overcome such threats, restoring state presence is essential. We're equally seriously concerned by the worsening of the humanitarian situation. The number of those in need of assistance is increasing. We call on all external donors to urgently finance the humanitarian appeal. We recall that in the conditions of hopelessness and despair, Malian youth have no other choice than to join the ranks of terrorist, extremist, or criminal groups. In that connection, it would be extremely important for efforts to stimulate economic and investment activity in the northern and central regions to not lag behind, and for social services to be restored there. We welcome the efforts of Bamako, Malian political forces, and signatory movements, the Platform on Coordination, to implement the peace agreement. We expect them to strictly abide by the timeline for the implementation of its key provisions regarding the reconstitution of Malian armed forces, administrative territorial reform, and preparations for a constitutional referendum. Any delay in this will only exacerbate existing threats and increase the country's vulnerability in the face of the destabilizing forces represented by terrorists, organized crime, and extremist ideology. At the same time, we call on colleagues not to get too taken up with restrictive measures. It is important for the existing sanctions regime to show its effectiveness first. We believe that stemming the illegal activities of sanctioned individuals as well as other saboteurs of the political process is something that will be more actively done by the law enforcement bodies of Mali. We support the activities of the United Nations mission in Mali, which plays an important role in stabilizing the country. We believe that it is important not to weaken its effectiveness. We call on colleagues to take a balanced approach when deciding upon its future. Mr. President, the situation in Mali is a major factor of African stability overall. However, achieving a settlement in this country without normalizing the situation in the region is something that does not seem possible either. The Libyan factor continues to play its negative role. The link between terrorists operating on the territory of Mali and those in the region as a whole is becoming increasingly evident. In that context, we support specific steps by the G5 Sahel to establish a joint force to combat terrorism and organized crime. We count that their role in ensuring regional stability will increase. Thank you.
I thank the representative of the